With Bo Big Time McBrayer. The Nimble with Numbers team presents Chalked Blocked with Bo Big Time McBrayer.
I gotta know what a $5 shake tastes like.
That's hot. That's hot.
I want winners, folks. You don't know diddly.
And his partner, Scott Stag Simpson.
Do you know who I am?
Trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nuts.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
I gotta catch a glimpse of these warlocks. Let's make a move. Let's make a move.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to Chalk Blocked, the world's sexiest DFS show for now. And we're either your winning wingmen of DFS, or we're just going to be an outright motherfucking chalk block. All you chalk blockers out there, shout out to you. Shout out to my guy from Houston, Texas, Brandon Clegg. Let's go. Yeah, shout him out. I've been in his winner take all showdown DFS league for a couple years now. And let's just say that I've gotten second place in winner take all too many times to count. He can attest that I'm always at the top and I rarely win.
Well, you know what? You should have gotten some money last week in the Chalk Block Week 14 tournament that I set up the wrong week. It was not Week 14 last week. It was Week 13. And then also, it was not winner take all. It was, but it shouldn't have been. It should have been top.
Oh, it
so
was. And right? I think I know who took it all.
Oh, it was me. It was me.
It was so the freaking Grinch over here. I knew you were green and hairy over there.
You know it. It's totally true. I people were pointing out to me.
Double hate. Loathe entirely.
Loathe entirely. It's me. Well, people were telling me in our little mini chat, the compadres, the Canton compadres, like you made it a winner take all. And I did not know that. Like, and you guys were mocking me. And then Jorge shot up out of the darkness and he took the lead. And then you came over the top. And then I came. It was a chalk blocked like wet dream, really, you know. So it was great
for like the three of us to be all in the same chat together on the Sunday late window, full tilt, like the whole that Kyron Williams touchdown where Sean McVay was joking. Oh yeah, Kyron's on my fantasy team. He was on Jorge's or he was on yours and mine. Like I didn't even look at your team because I was like, oh, you were victory lapping like an hour before the games got over because you were way out in front. But mine and Jorge's teams came storming back, and we passed you. And I was like, okay, Jorge passed me. I'm looking at who we have. Jorge's guys were pretty much done. I needed a touchdown from Kyron Williams to pass Jorge. I didn't look to see that you also had Kyron Williams and also had one other guy that trumped my score. So when Kyron scored, you leapfrogged both of us to win. I got second place because that's what I do. Whenever it's winner take all, you can bet your sweet britches that Bo is getting second.
It's almost like the DFS or fantasy gods have it out for you personally.
Well, so I believe in karma, and I have a feeling that there's a windfall coming my way.
Well, we're going to talk about that later. We are hot. I did win a couple other tournaments too last week, and I'm finally cashing for myself instead of for others. So I'm really excited about that. But we're going to do a little Millie Maker at the end. That was my surprise, but I've already put an entry in, my treat, and we're going to go back to what we used to do when we were flush with cash. And
Millions.
We love the Millie. So, but here's what we're going to do. We every single week we do something called the Slate Walk, right? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what the Slate Walk
for
is,
this shirt, too sexy for this shirt, so sexy it
coming
hurts. But and we're on the Slate Walk. The Slate Walk. You take a little turn on the Slate Walk.
Yeah, we've got 11 games to take a little turn on this week. Some ups, some downs, some lows, real lows, 33, 33. Ooh, those are low. But then we got some 48s, some 44s on the back end, the 4 o'clock window.
That late window's sexy as
it's a late window special. I mean, it's good. It's real good. So But what are you thinking about this slate? Overall impressions before we jump into the individual games?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can complain about is that the best game on the slate got flexed to Sunday night with the Cowboys and Eagles, or it didn't even get flexed. We already knew it was going to have massive NFC East implications,
Huge.
NFC playoff picture in general implications, huge. But yeah, every other good game on this slate is on these 11 games. There's quite a few really interesting fantasy matchups. There's some really good leverage on this slate for DFS players. We're going to hit that so hard, like the hardest leverage hit. We're going to bring levity to the leverage, and we're going to block some chalk. Hey, chalk blockers, what do we do when there's chalk? Like last week, Zach Moss, what did we do? From the first minute of the show, we said, that's bullshit. We're blocking that chalk. And guess what? Tyjae Spears indeed scored more fantasy points than Zach Moss. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny when I get my crystal ball out that I've had all season? Things just come together.
You know what? It did come together last week, and Zach Moss was in one winning lineup I had, but just as salary relief, not as something I needed to.
He destroyed so many lineups, and we told Joe Pepe from Philly. We told our guy Joe.
Yeah, we love Joe.
We want to shout him out because one of the best people out there, really good DFS player, but he played Zach Moss at his own peril and was whining about it on Twitter the next day. And wouldn't you know that we were like, yeah, well, at least we know he didn't watch the show. So, Joe, we hope you're watching tonight, or at least before lock tomorrow, so that you can win some money this time.
Right. And speaking of that, we are going to, it's not right away, but we are going to get back to, it's called a teaser, kids. Zach Moss is the most rostered player again in week 14. So we'll get to there. It's a little further down the slate walk, but we're going to start with Tampa Bay heading into hot Atlanta. And by hot, we mean Arthur Smith's seat and his job is on the hot seat. So. Right. We sure do. We hope that Nepo baby gets what he's, coming to him. But with that being said, Bijan did figure it out last week. Good for him. He's a real boy now. Drake London still not a real boy. Kyle Pitts definitely not a real boy. He's Pinocchio.
Who do you like? Fine. He's been not great. Not great.
I mean, he was a first round pick. I mean, so was Drake. They're not living up to the.
So was Bijan. So was everybody on that team except for
every single player.
The head coach was not a top pick. We would have nobody would ever have heard of Arthur Smith if not for Derrick Henry. So. Thanks, Derrick Henry, who is an alien, cannot be concussed if you're not from this world. You are the reason we have Arthur Smith in this position. So blame the aliens.
I blame. Also, cheers. I've broken my drinking fast. I'm
drinking Sprite.
Look at you. Roles are reversed. This is a White Russian. But it's not made with Russian vodka. It's with Tito's handmade American crafted American vodka.
Texas. Yeah, Austin, Texas.
Because no offense, but fuck Russia and go USA. So that's not controversial over here. But I want to be. I want when all the aliens watch this show later in the hemisphere destruction.
Believe it or not, if I had an extra 5 minutes before the show, I didn't. I rolled in, grabbed a can of Sprite out of the fridge. We're talking. I would have also been pouring a White Russian because I've been craving one. I'm gonna have one after the show. White Russian is an elite holiday time drink. Actually, year round, it's fine.
Yeah,
but
it's good.
But yeah, the dude abides.
Yeah.
Hey, it really tied the room together.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, that rug is important. Anyway, 27% rostership. We don't really care about RBs too much, but that's kind of high in our purview. A little bit of negative optimal leverage. Are you going
a little? A little?
It's dark. It's real dark.
It's dreary. And this is if Zach Moss was a really good football player, then we would have said, hey, let's give it a little leeway here. I mean, it makes sense. He's in it. He's a starting running back, but we don't even know if Bijan's going to get the most carries on the Atlanta Falcons. That's the problem. Is he's by far the best running back they have. He's by far the most explosive running back in his price range in this slate. That's why he's chalky. The problem is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are an outstanding run defense. Hey, doesn't that sound familiar? Zach Moss, super chalky last week, playing against a really tough run defense, and he still was chalky because of his price. You can't get overexposed to Bijan this week. It's not good chalk.
Yeah. Tampa Bay only given up 6 touchdowns, 2 through the air to running backs, and then 4 on the ground.
And who knows? Those if they score a running back touchdown, it might be Cordero, it might be Tyler Algier. Shoot, it might be their damn fullback. It might be Michael Pruitt on a tight end around.
Right. I kind of agree with you on this one, not because Bijan hasn't balled out, but his touchdown kind of dependency as well, because he's not being littered with targets, peppered with targets, whatever you want to say, bequeathed targets upon.
His snap share as a quote unquote starting running back is abysmal.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm fading the chalk too. And I think in this matchup, I can find it. There you go. In this matchup, I like Rachaad White. I know he's still a little expensive, but I think I'd rather have him. Actually, no, I like Mike Evans. Take it all back. All that. I like Mike Evans. I'll take Mike Evans at 7,700. Yeah.
Mike Evans.
I made a mistake.
Check.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Mike Evans is nice. A little bit of leverage there on Chris Godwin, who everybody's forgotten about because he's had a really sluggish season. Look at that. 4%. That's still 4%. A really good football player at 6K. Really, really good football player. So sneaky Chris Godwin. Nobody's talking about him. The Falcons are better against the run than the pass. This is a double pass funnel type thing where you don't expect Desmond Ridder to support anyone on the receiving end. Kyle Pitts, because of his price, is in play, but you don't want to be overexposed to him either because again, he's coming up 15%. This is where you don't get cued on a game with a low total. It's not going to shoot out. The Falcons don't run enough plays for them to be in a shootout. So don't get too excited about a game that's going to be kind of meh. 40 total is about where I'd cap it out as. So don't overexpose yourself to this game in any way, but you're right. Mike Evans is the belle of the ball here.
Yeah. I'm not sure why they haven't updated who they're playing this week, but that's fine. Yeah, come on, get your shit together in NFL fantasy. Yeah, I don't know.
They're too busy finding running backs for lowering their shoulder pads, which is what they're trained to do.
Oh my gosh,
$49,000. And if you throw a punch like Isaiah Pacheco, he had a separated shoulder and his punching shoulder, he separates his right shoulder and then punches the guy with his left hand and gets fined $5,000. But Breece Hall lowers his shoulder pads, which is what you're supposed to do. And he doesn't even make helmet contact. He doesn't use the crown to initiate contact. He got fined $49,000 today for a football play.
Yeah, I don't like it.
So the NFL, I think the website might be a little bit second fiddle to all the idiots running the other parts.
Yeah, no, it's true. They're not bringing their best people, using their best focus.
They don't have any good people. That's the trick question.
Well, they have a few. But they're like
Laquan, they need to promote Laquan and Scott Hansen. Just put Scott Hansen in charge of the whole league.
Yeah, him
like
and
every
Laquan.
facet. I know it's a lot of work, Scott, but I think you can handle it.
Marcus Grant, Marcus Grant,
our sweet prince, Scott Hansen, Marcus Grant, friend of the show.
Love him, friend of the show. Yeah. All right, let's move over to a game that I'm surprised New Orleans is only at -6. It's because Derek Carr sucks ass. Honestly, I mean, that's the only reason.
He doesn't even know where he is right now.
Doesn't know, no clue. Did you watch the play where he fumbled the football and he ran like 10 feet away without the ball in his hands? And then like he just realized it after he was 10 feet away from the center that he didn't have the ball. Like,
that was before he got his second concussion in 3 weeks.
Not good. I'm wondering though, if Alvin Kamara, if people are aware that he's playing this week because he's only 11% rostered. That really is surprising given the sieve that is the Carolina Panthers run defense and the fact that they're going to probably be trailing in this game and New Orleans is going to be dominating time of possession. I don't understand.
Shut your whore mouth, Scott.
I don't understand. I almost played him against
Keep your voice down.
Right.
Alvin Kamara is the number one running back play on this entire slate. It's not close. I have him above Christian McCaffrey as far as value. And this is where you attack your lineup with a guy who is A, underpriced, B, in a great matchup, and C, he's not even chalky. We don't even care that much about running back chalk, but this is a trifecta. You must play Alvin Kamara. You probably should be above the field on him no matter what.
Right.
This is a green flag, green light. Just go play Kamara, build your lineup around kind of guy.
I love it. Yeah. I'm going to increase his rostership here when we get down to it. It's all minimum set of 30. Yeah.
And Not to mention, your patron saint, Mr. Fancy Underpants, Taysom Hill, is still questionable. And if he's dinged up, even if he plays, they're not going to throw him into the fire with all these goal line carries where he just rams the pile. They're going to be a little more conservative and throw in Alvin Kamara, who's probably one of the best touchdown scorers of his generation. I mean, what more do you need to see to put Alvin Kamara in here?
Nothing for me. He's a solid kind of build your lineup around. It was him or Christian McCaffrey.
RB1.
Yeah, RB1. I love that. It was between him and McCaffrey when I built my lineup against you. And so that was the pivot point. It was the decision tree, as the kids are calling it.
The $1,000 difference makes a difference too.
It does. I like that. That's a good pay down. Are you running it back with anybody at all in this game? Are you looking at a double stack? Are you looking at, because to me it's Kamara bust for this matchup.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that the Saints defense is the strength of this team. That's why they're favored. They're not favored because of their offense. That's just not a thing. Olave's been sick all week. Taysom's been banged up. The only player they really have that you can count on is Alvin Kamara. Their defense, however, is awesome. And the Panthers, they're not. Bryce Young has been left by himself on a horrendous roster on offense. Whether you're the top pick or the Mr. Irrelevant, if you have nobody around you with any talent, you're not going to play well. And he's going to take a lot of the blame, even though he shouldn't. No, he hasn't played great, but he also has had no support whatsoever. Adam Thielen, I got to shout out Chuck Bass on Twitter. Chuck Bass tweeted out that Adam Thielen is like my father because he showed up for 6 weeks, then went out for a carton of milk and never came back.
Oh, Chuck's killing it, dude. That's hilarious.
Adam Thielen is your estranged father. He just disappeared after 6 weeks. And so the rest of this team on offense, Mingo's looked okay the last few weeks. He's more of a yak guy. He's not a great route runner. He's not your technician type guy that this offense desperately needs, a guy who can just get open.
Yeah.
They don't have anybody. Their running backs are pretty mid. Miles Sanders kind of on the tailspin of his career. Chuba Hubbard's always been kind of average at best. This offense is bad, and the Saints defense is good. So play the Saints defense. They're going to be chalky, but
they're not. They're not, though. You say that,
yeah, but
they're
very
3%.
unlikely.
They're not.
Oh, then
they're not.
It's
a sneaky play.
There's your stack. Like play 20% Kamara by himself and another 20% stacked with the defense.
I agree.
That's smart. That's smart DFS football.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And if you look at kind of the matchup here, Granderson and Jordan on the outside, it's not going to be good. I really do see a lot of dominance. Bryce Young fleeing for his life. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that the Saints pick him off twice at least in this game.
Yeah.
And so
they're going to get some sacks for sure. Yeah. Granderson, Cam Jordan's a monster still. That guy seems to not even slow down. He's 33, 34 years old. He hasn't slowed down a bit.
He was on the league back in the day with Cameron Jordan. Where's that guy? I'm playing football. That's crazy. Yeah. Jordan Cameron still playing football. So and the whole premise of that episode was that Brian or Kevin didn't know the difference between the two players. It was pretty funny.
Hey, Jordan Cameron, really nice one-hit wonder at tight end.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not Cameron Jordan. All right, so let's jump over to the Ravens hosting the LA Rams. And the Ravens are chalky. I wanted to kind of show you, lead off with this. They're 3,300, and man, 15% of any D. That's a chalk block for sure. Yeah, because defenses, you don't want to get chalky on defense. You do not. That'll sink your battleship. It's 1 of 30 or 1 of 28 or whatever it is. The amount of teams that are playing that week. You don't want to lock onto one.
22 defenses on the slate. We don't want to be overly chalky on it. I mean, the Rams can play deep. They can score points. We've seen them score points on good defenses this season. Last week was a good example where Puka Nacua went ballistic. Cooper Kupp scored late. That was against a decent defense. This Rams offense can move the ball. Kyron Williams has been great. The problem with this game is that I think it's going to be a shootout. I think that this might be the game that you want to game stack. I think that this game you can block some of the offensive chalk you'll see on the Ravens side by pivoting to a Rams player because they're not as popular. Keaton Mitchell, humongous upside on the Ravens side.
2%
And
rostered. That's crazy.
Kyron Williams, even though it's in a brutally difficult matchup here, we're looking at a dueling banjo situation here. This is a great game to sneaky stack because I do think the Rams cover this spread. Even though I think the Ravens are the better team, I think it stays close. I think that there's a lot of back and forth scoring here. So you're okay playing a stack with Kupp and Stafford or Nakua and Stafford, Kyron and Stafford. Run it back with Isaiah Likely of all people. He hasn't done anything this year, even since Mark Andrews went out. I love Zay Flowers to make a bounce back this week. I love Rashad Bateman as a dirt cheap wide receiver at 3,200. He's been coming on strong this year. You might even throw some tokens on Odell Beckham. This game is going to shoot. It's going to be back and forth. You can play anybody in this game.
And this is the thing too. I kept trying to interrupt you. And I'm so sorry. Please forgive. The stack here without one of the quarterbacks, just kind of the game stack like you're talking about, only 22,000 for 4 players, 23,000 round up. That's really good.
Oodles of upside.
Even Gus is 1,000 more, but don't forget Gus. He does have double-digit touchdowns this year. That's good, kids. In 14 games to have 10 touchdowns.
We prefer when our players score touchdowns.
Right. And I think that the biggest thing here, I talked about it with Bijan, is that touchdown equity. You can't predict touchdowns. You're not going to say, oh, someone's going to get a touchdown this week. You can call and predict that there's more likelihood that they do. And that's what we're edging towards this. But in this situation, you have Puka Nacua explosive. His speed is he's got a huge frame. You kind of think, oh, he's a big guy. No. The guy's got breakaway speed. He showed it last week. He ran away.
Fast enough is what he said on the hot mic.
Well,
fast enough.
He ran away from both cornerback and safety of the Cleveland Browns. So those guys don't have 4.7 speed. They have 4.4 speed, 4.3 speed. He was ahead of them, and he did not lose his pace. So I'm not
he ran a 4.5, which isn't slow, guys.
No.
Just because you run a 4.5 just means you're fast. It takes you longer to get up to speed.
Yeah,
like his top speed was still 22 miles an hour.
The Ravens have given up some yards to running backs this year. I think 4.5 yards per carry. So they are susceptible. They haven't given a lot of touchdowns. The points per game is pretty good against running backs. We'll go down here to the opposite ranking for them. They come in only giving up 5 touchdowns. That's the problem. Under 1,000 yards rushing and not a lot of receiving yards. So Kyron, he is tricky. The thing about him, he is a leverage play because he's not rostered. And that's kind of that's kind of the point you're talking about earlier is finding those plays that are not
passes.
Yeah, not heavily 9%. And then that's not heavily rostered, by the way, boys and girls. That's really not. Good price. He's gotten, if we go to look at who he actually is, go back over here to RBs.
We're speaking of athleticism with Puka Nacua. Kyron Williams might be the least athletic running back in the league.
Ever.
Like starter, backup. Yeah, he cannot run.
Makes Sony Michel look athletic. But look at this, 21, 38,
However,
20.
There's a difference between fast and athletic and really, really good at football. This guy does everything right.
And touching the ball, 24, 22, 20. I mean, that's what you want to have. 20 plus touches, 25.
You know why he gets the touches like
20.
that is because he doesn't come off the field.
Because
they trust him in every down. He's there all 3 downs. They don't trust the other backs like they trust him. When he was injured, that was a huge hit to their team because that's their guy. That's the guy that they want to rally.
The nucleus of their team and how they set up their scheme. And this is the thing. If you can go on Hut or go on set and you can just dive to the left and get 7 yards or 6 yards, and then sometimes Kyron can bust it out and go for 10. I mean, that's what you want, and sometimes you go for 2, but then you set up the play action, same thing, and they don't pick up the RB out of the back and you go for 12. And then that's 3 more points. And then he's not somebody who's going to get you 15 points in one play like Devin Achin will, but he'll get you 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 3 and 3 and 3 and 8 because he'll get a touchdown. And then you add it all up and you go, 21 points. That's great. And you see it, except in 2 games, 8 and 7, he's been over that 17, 18 point threshold, 20, 21, 38, 27. So 28. I like you. So, But, is there an airport terminal going on in here? I hear an announcement going on over at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, doors closing on the left. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. All right. I built some stacks over there. Let's talk about this game next. 33 points. Because Houston's going to score 30 points. Is that what's going to happen in this game? Because the Jets aren't going to score a lot of points in this game. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. This might be a letdown game because CJ Stroud has an absolutely brutal matchup.
Oh,
If there's one thing we know about the Jets is they cover wide receivers like no other. Their corners are outstanding. They cover people just like a blanket. They're incredibly good against the pass. Yeah, look at that. They're the best by far against wide receivers
by 5 points
in the league. Yeah, 5 points a game over the next best team, which Cleveland, they get there with their pass rush. Denzel Ward's great, but the Jets have a great pass rush and bookend corners that are both all pros. DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner. You're not getting open against them. And Nico Collins, by his lonesome, isn't going to be able to take over against this type of defense. So if you're looking for a nice bounce back, repeat breakout from Nico without Tank Dell there, I'm not counting on it this week. I love Nico. We all love CJ Stroud. It ain't happening this week. This is going to be a big under game for me.
Yeah, for sure. And I could see this game being 17-0 or like 17-3 or 12-8.
10. I think 16-10.
Yeah, I'm really
field goals. If you got kickers going, play some kickers in this game.
I'm not a big fan of this. The only thing is, I mean, if you're just hoping on a prayer, you got Garrett Wilson maybe. Oh wait, hold on. No, you don't. He's 21% rostered. Holy shit, that's a lot of chalk.
Which is
Batman.
The easiest chalk block of the week. We love Garrett Wilson, but we do not love the other Wilson.
No. I mean, and also the price. The price is nice, and that's what's driving this. It's like when they flood the showroom with a new model, but they don't tell you that it doesn't have AC. Like,
or a radio.
right. No Wi-Fi, baby. It's got an antenna. So
the tires are bald.
I'm sorry. I'm out this too. Here's the thing. You could be super contrarian if you wanted to. And I think there's better plays at 7,600 than Nico, but
that's a pretty nice tournament play right there.
Yeah, it's a really nice tournament play. It is. It's got tournament
really nice
dripping, just drip, juicy all over. Because the volume is going to get 10 targets.
I'm fading Stroud, and if there's another leverage play here, it's the Jets defense.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I mean, CJ Stroud has been awesome this year, but he throws a lot of passes, and when you throw a lot of passes against a great pass defense, you're very prone to turnovers. And rookies make turnovers. Like we've seen multiple games this year where CJ Stroud turned it over 3 times, 4 times. And yeah, his numbers at the end of the game look great, but he's not perfect. He's still a rookie. Right. And this is probably the toughest matchup he's going to have all year versus a pass defense. And he doesn't have Tank Dell. Unfortunate for everyone.
I love that.
Shout out Tank. Hope he gets well in time for next year. And he's a full go because it's still December. He had same fracture fibula that Dak Prescott had. So it just sucks. But yeah, the Jets and the Texans might be a snoozer.
Yeah, I think it will be. We won't be watching a lot of Scott Hansen tomorrow on this one. But this next game, which I will cut to quickly to get away from the stank of this last game.
Before we switch, are you playing Brevin Jordan?
Oh yeah, of course I am. Yeah, against
That's
you,
your guy, right?
Actually. Yeah.
So Brandon Clegg's a Houston guy. And we're surprised that Brevin Jordan's not chalkier here.
He should be way more chalky. He only went up about $600. It's not that much.
Yeah, I was gonna give you shit if he was chalky because that's your boy. But seeing these 4% means that in a tournament play, don't play him in cash. By all means, do not look anywhere near Brevin Jordan in cash. But in tournament play, he's a go.
I did play him in cash against you. I had to play him against you again because I like him. He is my boy.
Is it just a mercy play at this point since you can't lose to me? You're just gonna see how far you can push the boundaries before it bites you.
I told my wife, I said I don't know if he'll want to do it again next year if I keep beating him so badly. I said I gotta figure it out.
If I keep winning other tournaments, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing about it is like, and you know this, and I know this. You're playing with a random oblong ball. Like we have ideas, but every week you're also playing against somebody who has 9 other players, and you are 8 or 7 or whatever it is. Kind of, we have a couple of overlaps, but you have just variance, just in every
we're
from
in the
week to week NFL.
probability business.
Right,
Yeah, this is
right.
the probability business. We're trying to increase our odds of winning, not guaranteeing it, because there's no way to.
Right. So I have been beating you, and like watching you go from like basically I turned you into a GPP bro by head-to-heading you, which I feel bad. I'm like, I don't know what I've done to him. You know what I mean? You're like, dude, I've got Brevin Jordan.
Look at my boy. Look how they massacred my boy.
Look what I did to my own boy. Like, by no fault of my own, we've reversed roles. And
I abandoned my son.
Right, I'm the head-to-head guru, and you're the GPP bro. How did that happen? That's the craziest. That was your forte. You know what I mean?
We are juxtaposed this
we
season.
Have changed, right? It's like
it
those
has
couples.
made for a better show, though.
It is. Have you seen those couples that like switch personalities? Like when they come in, like he's dominant and he's like the alpha, and then after like a couple years, and she's laid in, and now she's the alpha, and it's so funny. I love those. Those are the best.
That's just
he never was.
Game.
It's
playing the long game.
Yeah, she made him think he was the alpha, and then she revealed her hand, and
that's the lock. The lock.
Crumbled. Oh, what a week! He was a super beta, and she knew, and she let him puff up as a false alpha. So no false alphas here. We're full betas. So that's how we know. No, it's fun. The role reversal, the Freaky Friday shit is pretty funny, but
and then they're still dressed the same.
We do, yeah. Hey, listen, we're good looking. This is the sexiest DFS show for now and forever. I'm gonna change the heading from not for now. I'm gonna say for now and forever, because I can't think of anybody else unless Ian Hartitz starts a shirtless DFS show every week, and then gets Peter.
We smoked Ian Hartitz at pool at the expo, so he can't say anything.
He was high-fiving me like I was his dad. You know what I mean? So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Ian and Eric Proton took the L against us in pool, so they can't be sexier.
You and Sam ran them. Yeah, you and Sam ran those guys.
I ran the table on both of them. Yes, Sam, everybody's just watching me just make every ball in the pocket. They're like, well, I guess the game's over.
It ended. Well, and Eric Froton is no longer Eric. He's Carl from Die Hard 1. So from now on, yeah, he is.
He is.
I can't wait to see Carl again.
Now I have a machine gun.
Oh my gosh. So we've been talking that's called a segue, kids. We're gonna go back to the Slate Walk.
Like Paul Blart segue.
Yeah. By the way, I have to say I am a little chipper today. I'm a little excited. I'm almost done my drink here, which is not good for me. I have to slow down. But I know. But I achieved my national boards. I found out today for reading language arts. Yeah, it's like 75,000 in the bag. Yeah, I get $10,000 extra every
English?
year. It's just king. It's a king. I've as a teacher, you don't get a lot of money grabs, but this is a way. And listen, I know people don't like Democrats or Republicans. I agree with you, but at least Democrats give money to teachers. And so under the Biden administration, they've expanded the national boards package for people who have achieved. And my raise was a $7,000 raise from $3,000 to $10,000. And now that I'm nationally board renewed again, it's going to be higher. So thank you.
Can I hold Tree Fitty?
Yeah, Brian, NBCT is a nationally board certified teacher. It's a peer-reviewed educator. Doctors get this. It's when other doctors look at their work and they go, you are a professional, and I peer review your work. I look at it. I esteem it. It's good. As a colleague, teachers do the same thing. So I did a big, long project where I help kids learn and access information technology through reading language arts programs in a setting where they had interactive technology being read to them, and texts were able and available for them for non-English speakers and people who can't read. And it really transformed my classroom. So I love it. And that's kind of what I'm about as a person. So yeah, that's what it is. So, I wanted to, do a little cheers, and, man, it was 6 weeks of making myself a better teacher, and kids were enriching their education because the public school system's okay, but people like me have to make it better. You got to make it more engaging and make it more about the kids. And that's what I figured out how to do. But with that being said, that's done and over. I'm so thankful I finished it, because now I can have fun. I can enjoy fucking fantasy football and DFS. And this game in particular, I think it's going to shoot. What do you think? Detroit's abandoned defense in the last 6 weeks. They've just been like, we like defense. And then they're like, nah, we don't like
defense. I can't agree with you on this one, honestly.
I wonder, what do you think?
So everybody knows what the home road splits are for Jared Goff. But even more severe are the splits between good weather and bad weather. Jared Goff is a terrible quarterback outdoors and in bad weather. The forecast for Chicago tomorrow is terrible. Lake Michigan is rocky. It's going to be windy. It's going to be cold. It's going to be rainy, possible snow flurries. This is going to be nasty. And Jared Goff is from Northern California. He is
shout out.
Yeah, shout out.
Never heard it negatively used. It's the first time. Ding ding ding.
It never rains here. We got rain 3 days ago, and I was like, "What the hell's going on here?"
Both start spinning in circles like a Tasmanian
They don't know how to
devil.
drive. There's people hitting
Ubers
trees
are
and telephone poles. It was like one of those commercials, like, "Please disperse, nothing to see here." That was just because we got like a quarter inch of rain.
That's hilarious.
So imagine that guy playing quarterback in the NFL against the Chicago Bears, who have been a great team since Justin Fields came back. So I do think I'm calling the upset here. I think the Bears beat the Lions outright. I think Justin Fields and DJ Moore is the stack of all stacks. I'm not saying this game is bad for stacking. I'm saying that it's not going to shoot out because of the weather, because of Jared Goff's MO for this type of game. But man, can you get some really good leverage in this game? Justin Fields, DJ Moore, run it back with Sun God, or even secret RB1 unlocked, David Montgomery. It's Monty season. When the weather gets nasty, Jared Goff crumbles and shrivels, and Monty is in play.
If you also, I'm going to build a few of these Monty, DJ, Justin Fields lineups. If you want to get a little frisky, and I do, I'm gonna put in not in this. I'll switch out. I'll keep the wide receiver, but switch out the touchdown equity. Is a little Roshan at 49. The Bears want to see what they have. They want to see, and they're gonna play with their toy. And I think he just
and a lot of people are gonna play Dante Foreman because he's healthy now.
Yeah, I think it's a bad choice. What do you have to see in a journeyman RB running back 3 on your team? I do like the out of Laporta. Yeah, I don't want Gibbs. Sorry, none of that. But I'll take a little stack here.
So there's so many little stacking options in this game.
Well, I like this.
Just don't include Jared Goff.
I agree.
All you have to do is avoid Goff, play Fields, play DJ Moore, play Cole Kmet, play Laporta, play Monty, play Gibbs, play everybody in the world, but don't expect many of them to shoot out. Like it's this type of a thing is going to be for mass multi-entry. If you're in a GPP type tournament, you're going to want to mix and match to try to find the right 3 guys that pop in this game. Right, 3 to 4. I would keep it to 3 if it was me. But different mixtures of 3 players, just to land the right combo, because there are going to be some big performances in this game, even if the score only tops out around 45.
I mean, I could go Roshan and David Montgomery for a little dueling banjos action, actually. I like that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Excellent. Well, we did a long tease. If you're with us for the whole show, well done. I apprient it. I think Brandon, Brian. Yeah.
We're blocking shock, though. We are blocking shock.
I know. Hey, listen, thank you for I appreciate just as a person being heard, seen, and interacted with. So thank you. I mean, it's
an honor, honestly. And the gnome are appreciative.
And the decorative Christmas tree over here that my mom got me today that she handmade. I'll tell you the story is she had one that she handmade as a kid. She did it for 60 years, and we've all lusted after it. No joke. My sister walked in today. She's 2 years younger than me. She walked in. Mom, love you. Good to see you. Blah, blah, blah. Here's the stuff I brought for the breakfast. I called dibs on your Christmas tree. Like what? You called it like you claimed it like she's dying, or like we're all dying.
Called shotgun. She called shotgun.
Like, business is my sister just came in business from the hip. She just said, claiming that. And then my mom gave us all our own. And so then I decided to bring up the story to my other sister. I said, don't want to get you mad, but my sister just tried to claim.
already had one.
Yeah. And we have them now. So, look at this crazy. Anyway, I thought that was hilarious. Zach Moss, long story short, he is the most chalkiest he's been since last week. So
only slightly less chalky than his complete gut bomb of chalk last week.
When he helped everybody ruin their lineups.
However, it is a much better matchup.
It is
a much better matchup.
40% is in this game. If you don't go Zach Moss, you can do other things. You can
lots
do
of
a
things.
Pittman. You can do a Pittman and a Downs.
What's crazy to me is that the vastly better running back here is only 200 more and is getting 15% less.
No, Joe Mixon's a great play in this game. I agree with you.
You have to play Joe Mixon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say don't go 0% on Zach Moss, but top him out at 10%. Like you want a little bit of Zach Moss just in case he has one of those good performances he occasionally has.
Yeah.
But Joe Mixon is a max exposure type player this week.
Oh, yeah.
The Colts cannot stop anybody.
Well, they've given up 1,700 total yards and 14 touchdowns. So that's a green light to go zone.
Is that good?
Right?
Is that good?
That's good. That's good. Well, it's bad. It's 25 points per
bad
game.
For them.
Bad.
It's good for us.
Good for
especially
us.
what we just saw Joe Mixon do on Monday night.
Right.
With a guy that somebody told everybody that would listen and watch and read that that the most prolific quarterback in the history of high school football and the winningest quarterback in the history of the Pac-12 conference, the conference of champions, that he would have a top 10 fantasy quarterback performance last week as the backup stepping in for a star quarterback who was injured for the season and going up on a road game in prime time, first game on Monday night in Jacksonville in more than a decade.
And you picked the upset too.
And I said that they would score 35 points. Well, it sucks for me. They only scored 34. But Jake Browning was QB4 last week. And the Bengals, with their backup quarterback, Jake Browning, shout out NorCal from Folsom, California, threw 91 touchdown passes his senior year of high school when they won the state championship. 91 touchdown passes, most of all time. And he finished his high school career with over 220 touchdown passes in a high school career, which was 4 seasons. He was a 4-year starter. But that offense had Jonah Williams, his right tackle on the Bengals. By chance, he went to Washington, Jonah went to Alabama, and then they're on the same NFL team now. But they also had Josiah DeGuara, the tight end for the Packers. But yeah, Jake Browning is getting all the chalk because he's only 5,200 and the Colts defense sucks.
They do suck. But
however, leverage says Gardner Minshew is a spectacular play. Yeah.
I'm playing him against you, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. You jerk. I had Jake Browning in there for a while because I wanted to stack him with Chase. And then I decided that the stack I went with had more upside.
Hey, forget about it there, Brian. Come on, man. It's a Fugazi. You're talking about a Fugazi here.
So the funny part is Browning is from my neck of the woods, but I haven't met him, but I did meet Tommy DeVito.
You met a lot of people. You met a bunch of starting NFL quarterbacks this year, by the way.
I did.
You've touched more NFL quarterbacks' hands than I have.
And I'm a hugger, so we brought it in. We had bro hugs.
Yeah. Do you touch tips when you touch hugs? Do you think the pants through the pants at the end? Yeah.
Just like your barber's pants on your cheek.
Right. Shout out. So there's a meme of a mouse touching another mouse, right? And it says, the barber's dick, your shoulder. Yeah, your shoulder, right? Your shoulder.
Yeah.
And then I've got the tweet lined up. I'm waiting the best time to put it out there, waiting for the data to tell me. I've been cut my own hair for 33 years. True story. And it is. I have been. So I'm my own barber, bro. So just
just
so those who know, it's funny.
Like a continental soldier.
Whoopsie daisy, tying it off, So just that's how fishing was invented. People don't know, but yeah, Gardner Minshew tournament play for sure. Jake Browning, not a bad cash play though. If you're going head to head,
great cash play, cash play,
great stacking option too.
Him and Mixon, Jamar Chase, T Higgins is a sleepy one here in this game. The Colts have Michael Pittman, who's chalky as all get up, but he's worth it too.
Right. No,
Michael Pittman 10%, green flag, chalk. No chalk on Pittman? Are you kidding me?
No, you don't got to block it.
Oh,
you don't got to block it.
Let it go, baby. This is a Minshew Pittman stack. It's cheap. It's easy. It makes sense.
It makes a lot
Run
of
it
sense.
back with Joe Mixon or Chase or Higgins, and you got yourself a game stack in a game that will go over 44.
Yeah.
Calling it right now.
the defenses are not stellar. There's going to be some sackage on Minshew. He's going to throw a pick six probably, but you'll get the touchdowns to Pittman, the Joe Mixon run back. Oh, it's sexy. Josh Downs. Just a little bit. I'll make it a little bit more actually. It's not bad. 44 total. Indy, they go over. Indy shoots.
Indy doesn't play defense.
No. They sack the quarterback, but that's about all they do. Yeah. So, okay. Next, this is a Turd Ferguson of a game.
So the other game that remember Thursday night that game that was supposed to be a turd. Yeah, and it hit the over before halftime.
Oh,
this isn't going to be one of those. This isn't going to be one of those.
No. Joe Flacco, good for you. Good for you, bro. I love it. And I like the story about how he told him, the reporters, his kid was like, hey, you did a pretty good job throwing it to Elijah Moore in New York. Why don't you keep doing that? And he was like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So listen,
it's funny because he's the only one that seems to realize that Elijah Moore is always open.
Well, not this week. Everybody's on Elijah Moore. He is fucking chalky. So
yeah, good.
That is some chalk.
I love you. You love to see that everybody finally realizes what a stud Elijah Moore is.
Finally,
it only took Joe Flacco following Elijah Moore around the league for everybody to realize it.
Right. Yeah. Shout out Lindsay. Okay, because every time Joe Flacco throws to Elijah Moore, her hair gets a little bit brighter and a little more vibrant. So, yeah. But
I love this game. This game is ugly. It takes away all the chalk. It takes away a lot of decision making because you can very easily play Joe Flacco without Elijah Moore and David Njoku and do just fine here because he's still a good player. Beathard. No, do not play CJ Beathard.
I died. Sorry, that was me dying.
Do not play CJ Beathard. Please, for the love of God. Cleveland Browns are going to eat him for lunch. Well, this game is in Cleveland on Lake Erie. The weather's going to be shit.
It always is.
It's a low point total. Joe Flacco, don't even play Flacco. 4,700 cash play. Yeah, sure. Do it.
Yeah, I feel like
cash play Elijah Moore without Joe Flacco. Sure. Tournament play should not even sniff this game. Let everybody go down with the lake effect off Lake Erie. It's going to be a slog. It's going to be windy. It's going to be nasty. Don't play this game, guys.
Take the first half under, by the way, if you're a gambler.
Play the first half under, second half under, the whole game under.
Stack them. Do a first half parlay on the second half. Pull with a game stack.
Play a Jerome Ford and Browns defense stack and run for the hills. Yeah.
I'm with you. Run for the hills. Run for the hills. Get away from this game. Ooh, a fun game with lots of scoring on one side and maybe some revenge on the other side. What do you think about this game? Christian McCaffrey, he's 25% optimal leverage. And even with 23% projected ownership, his boom rate is still optimal. He's still there. Well, he's been just money this year, by the way, folks, if you haven't been paying attention.
Look at his ceiling.
Right. His projected base. Look at that. His base is most people's ceilings.
She knocked it over when she was walking out.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
She grabbed something and then ran off and it fell and she didn't clean it up. Dropping dominoes on the floor.
There's dominoes dropping. That normally means a dead body's dropping next. So be careful, Elf on the Shelf. You might be next.
The body's on the floor. Put the body's on the floor. My lovely wife just brought me a cupcake with half of the frosting licked off.
Well, I was about to say your wife's amazing, and then that sounds like some bullshit. No offense, but that's
She says from the saran. She says the saran wrap caught the frosting and the sprinkles.
And she's in the other room licking the saran wrap.
At least 20% of the cupcake surface
has been saran wrapped.
The only one that we know.
If you lick the saran wrap, then it's the same thing.
Right. She's doing it.
I'm lucky I got one. She's right.
Well, listen, as somebody whose wife left me, Brian, this week because I told her not to play DK Metcalf last week against the Cowboys, this game, it's an enigma for me.
You also told her not to play Zach Moss, and that worked out.
So. It did work out. She stayed with me for that. But here's the issue for me. I don't want to play. I want to play Jackson Smith and Jigba. That's who I want to play. If you want to talk about who I want to play, that's who I want to play. 4,100 upside target share. He's getting the routes. He's fast. He's quick. He's faster than most guys on San Francisco. He takes one over the top. He's gone. That's who I want to play. That's who I want to play.
Yeah.
So
I'm playing some Debo.
Yeah, I just been on the Seahawks, but myself. But
yeah, don't play the running backs.
No. I'm gonna play Debo and Njigba. That's my stack. I'm gonna build it right now.
Do it.
It gets me a little hard every time I think
Brock
about
Purdy
it.
chalky? I got to see Brock Purdy's chalk.
All right, we'll go back. Chalk block.
Come on,
man.
12%.
What's in the box? Yeah, that's. I mean, you could pivot, but Gino's a little banged up. You know, he's got a groin.
Gino might not play.
Yeah, and if he doesn't play, this is just balls to the walls. Their defense. How much does their defense cost? Not too bad, and not rostered. If Gino's out,
as soon as Gino's announced out, that's going to skyrocket.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, this is the cool thing. This is in the late window. So if you didn't plan on Gino being out and didn't have the San Francisco 49ers or have another defense you can pivot to that is around that same price, which would be, let's see, you'd have to have one of the top. You'd have to have Houston's defense, which you've already played. Normally, you couldn't have done it. You could not have done it. You could not have saved that price. So if you have
Buffalo's defense is cheaper, and in the late window, that's where I'd go.
Well, I'd already be there though. So I'm saying, if you allocated money for Buffalo's defense, you can't now pay up and do a late swap up $1,200. So logistically speaking, if you go 49ers, you might have the nuts and be that late window kind of.
I wouldn't be changing that anyway. That 49ers one is late. No. For me, it's like you're playing the Niners and McCaffrey back together as a stack, and you're just letting it go. You're not going to worry about late swap.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because it's just going to get better. The chalk that comes with that late announcement is fine, because all it means is that you're holding what you already wanted.
Yes. Yeah. If that late that late announcement comes, there's no late swap that can save other people. You already have the nuts in a way. Yep. And so, yeah, that's what I like. Do a little double wide receiver. I'm going to go Debo Njigba. And then I'll take a little bit of Njigba and Ayuk, just a tiny bit. So, okay. All right. We've got 3 games left, and now we're getting to more points, which is nice. I mean, that's kind of what we want. We want games with high totals that are going to kick off. We have not seen both of these teams, Minnesota and the Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings and the Las Vegas Raiders, both coming off of a bye this past week, which is good for them. Hopefully, they don't. They
both needed it.
They both needed it. Like they don't come in banged up. They come in a little rested, a little fatigue aside. But this game, no one's really playing this game. What do you think about that? I got you, Kobe Myers, against you in the head-to-head too. I don't know. What do you think?
Devontae Adams season.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him. He's barely rostered, 3% rostered,
underpriced, under rostered, overwhelmingly awesome at football.
Yes, he is. He is.
Yep.
Would you say that 3 times
on the other side of the ball? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like Justin Jefferson. I like him. I like Adams, and I like 2% Jordan Addison.
That's crazy.
Almost played him against hilarious. That's hilarious. So this is a 2x2 no quarterback stack bonanza. I'm going Adams and Jacobs, and then I'll have 2 of 3 Vikings. I'll have Jefferson with either Addison or Ty Chandler. I definitely want Jefferson, Adams face to face, like dueling banjos, spend up wide receivers with leverage. Yeah, there you go. You're getting nasty. Look at these stacks. Nasty stacks. That's why they call you
Stack
Stacks.
Nasty. Yeah, Sky Stack Simpson. That's my name.
And they call me Snacks.
Snacks. That's great. It's cash and stacks, and then stacks and snacks. I like it'd be cash, snacks, cash, stacks, and snacks. That's awesome. Yeah. What about is Hawk? Is the Hawk monster back? We love Hawk, right? Is he okay
I
in
like
this
Hawk.
game?
He's all right. He's all right.
He's okay. He's a little expensive. He makes the stack a little bit more expensive, but I'll still put it.
Yeah, I'm not in love with him with Jefferson back.
Yeah,
but this game is gonna go over 40 pretty easily because neither team has any pass defense.
No,
and Aiden O'Connell hasn't been as bad as I thought he would be.
No, I think the whole thing is interesting that only out of all the games that you have that are, kind of even lower totals and stuff, like for example, this game right here, same total, 45.5, right? You've got 11%. If people asked you, is Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, are they better than if you go over here, Bijan Drake and Pitts? It's all about the pricing. People are just are price reaching, they're grasping here. And I mean, that's crazy to look at the difference in rostership just from these
especially
2 games.
in the crazy difference in usage.
Right. And and what you think could go over in these 2 games, it just doesn't make sense to me. The pace of play, how
Way
bad
faster.
the Raiders defense has been, and same with Minnesota. It just whatever. Let people live. Whatever. I don't care. Play these other plays.
Let them bury themselves. We're gonna cash hard tomorrow.
This is gonna be wait for the late window. Like put most of your chips in the late window. Wait for that.
Yeah.
Wait for that. Don't feel people's scores.
Let them take their morning victory laps.
Right. Let the 1 p.m.ers come out. Right. Let those guys get all excited, and they got 3 touchdowns in the first hour, and they're just like,
let them get done with yelling at their servers and not tipping them right after church. And we're gonna cash in. We're gonna fill the offerings on Sunday night.
Right. No, I think it's great. I'm all about that. All right. Next 2 games are games I do want to play, and you want to play because I know you're playing somebody against me in this game, in the next game too. But with that being said, I like to. If you haven't been paying attention, I've not been highlighting it as a teacher. I should be framing it better. But I like to always open with the whole team's, both teams' rostership projection, so you can see who is owned the most. So Rashee Rice, obviously 4,500. 5,400. Really nice and sexy. Not in price, mostly not in usage. I think people think this game is going to shoot out. Are people reaching or grasping for Rice, kind of hoping he gets that, that touchdown because he is super cheap? But the Bills defense is okay.
This is easy chalk block for me. Rashee Rice is like if you order Deebo Samuel off Wish.com.
Oof.
And he had bricks for hands, and he broke some tackles, but he dropped a lot of passes, and he couldn't run a route over 5 yards. It's not Deebo Samuel runs lots of good routes. They just prefer to run him on screens and slants because they want to get the ball in his hands quickly.
Right.
They do that with Rashee Rice because he can't run the deeper routes. He's just a yak guy, and so far teams haven't been able to get up in his face enough. And as soon as that happens, like Buffalo's defense is perfect for this, they're going to completely shut him down.
Right.
He's still a rookie. He's still got a lot of growth to go through. A lot of people are flocking to Clyde Edwards-Helaire because of the injury to Isaiah Pacheco. I'd rather have Jerick McKinnon, honestly, because this is McKinnon's season. It's December, which means that he comes out of his mummified state and becomes a league winner. This is just what Jerick McKinnon does.
He's a beast.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire doesn't score touchdowns, doesn't catch passes, doesn't break tackles, and he doesn't block. He doesn't do any of. Jerick McKinnon is the best pass protecting running back in the NFL. He's going to be on the field a lot more than you realize. And guess what happens when he is done chipping that free rusher? He breaks out into a pattern, and he's a great receiver, and he's amazing in the open field. That's what they've been looking for. This team, this Chiefs offense is going to have to feature Jerick McKinnon, because if they feature Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Rashee Rice, they're going to get their asses kicked by the Buffalo Bills, who are simply a hungrier team.
I will say not to denigrate the words you choose, of course, in any man's diction and your writing vocabulary, but I would say that Jerick McKinnon is the definition of leaking out of the backfield. Like you do not think he's a feature in the play, and he's not. He's a third read, second read, whatever it is. But you're right. The inability for people to separate downfield, catch the ball in their hands, or not be a 34-year-old Taylor Swift chasing old man. Make it hard for you not to look at McKinnon in this game as a nice, maybe the most, he might score the most points for anybody other than Patrick Mahomes on that Chiefs team. He might be the second. It might be Mahomes, McKinnon. If you're doing any stack, which I'm not, in that sense, I'm doing some other game stacks, but not a quarterback stack because the price is not cut up. By the way, I thought about this today. I looked at this. Patrick Mahomes is elite. But his receivers, like you said, and his weapons are not anymore. He does not have it. Particularly here, Pacheco out too. It's a downgrade. I can't pay $7,900. It's like buying a Cadillac. You're not going to do that anymore. That was a long time ago. So for me, I'm not paying up. I'm paying up for Josh Allen maybe in this game because of his rushing upside and just the better weapons he has. But I'm not paying for Mahomes. So that's just.
And a lot of people are underrating. A lot of people are underrating both defenses in this game. So I'm betting the under. I'm going to let people eat the chalk in this game, especially with CEH and Rice. That's outrageous to me. James Cook at 3% is going to outscore CEH by probably double. I think James Cook doubles CEH's production in this game. He is a lot more expensive, of course, because he's shown more this season. He's not in the shadow of a recent injury that was way after the pricing was set for this slate.
Right.
But James Cook is a vastly better running back option. Not to say that he's a great DFS play in a tournament, but James Cook is a better play than Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and he's getting no chalk compared to 12% for CH. It makes no sense at all. CH is one of the worst first-round picks in the history of the NFL. They could have had Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, or Cam Akers, or anybody else that they wanted in that draft, and they decided to draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first round. Terrible decision.
Couldn't they have like Jesus Christ or like Mahatma Gandhi or like Muhammad? Yeah. Weren't they all available?
Mother Teresa was there on the board.
Right, she was on the board. I knew it. God, man. Imagine if
Mr. Rogers was there. Mr. Rogers, they passed up on Mr. Rogers for Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Jeez Louise. They're never going to give that up. I also heard that, literally Buzz Aldrin himself was right there on the board too. You could have gotten Buzz. Could have gone Buzz.
The Buzz Aldrin.
The Buzz. Like okay. Buzz and Woody, like inspiration of Toy Story. I mean, I stopped. Anyway, this is fun. I put Cooks and McKinnon in. I'm not going to play Kelsey. I'll tell you why.
You're playing with fire.
I know. And this is why, actually, if you're going to play McKinnon and Kelsey. Those are the two plays if you're going to not stack. But 7,800 for me is just he's not even playing. No one's playing him. Whoa, no one's playing him. Oh, wait, I take it back.
You should play Travis Kelce.
You should play Travis Kelce. I thought he was going to be much more roster.
There's only one rule on this show, Scott, and you know what it is. If Travis Kelce's on the main slate, you play him.
Play Travis Kelce. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I'm not stacking him, but I'm playing him. Yeah,
we only get 7-8 weeks where the Chiefs are on the main slate. So this is we got to maximize opportunities here and play Travis Kelce. You don't have to play him with Mahomes. You don't have to do that stack, but you definitely have to play Kelce at least 30% because tight end is still a wasteland.
I'm going to do a Diggs, McKinnon, Cook, Kelce stack, and then I'm going to take
a little heavy for my liking. I'd rather go one-on-one.
I'll do one-on-one. And then I'll do.
And if you're wondering about Dalton Kincaid, remember that Dawson Knox is back this week.
Yeah, remember.
And the Chiefs defense is very underrated. Very, very good defense. Josh Allen he's a great quarterback, obviously. He's amazing. And really he's from Central California, north of the north-south cutoff. So I'll go give a Josh Allen a 3/4 NorCal shout out.
It's a half chub cow.
Yeah,
half chub cow.
He's from Central California, agricultural. area.
Is he Chino?
Fireball.
Is he
Fireball.
lower than Chino? He's below Chino.
No, he's above Chino.
He's above Chino. He's above the Chino line. Okay.
Way above Chino.
Yeah.
Fireball. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that's where all your food comes from. You're welcome, everybody.
I like food. And by the way, I couldn't find it last week because it was behind my setup here. I actually I don't want to show my setup because it's kind of hard to turn my screen around, but I'm gonna go behind the scenes here and pull out what I was eating earlier tonight.
Are you reaching into a pumpkin?
No. I did have to move my bobblehead of my guy.
Your monitor's bobbling.
Oh, it is. I know. I had to move my whole monitor around. Hold on. Moving it back. Here we go. Hot box. I was eating this today. This is the fire shit ever. Oh my gosh. I love it. After 4 years, it is still delicious. I've got it for days and I'm eating it and I love it.
And you're the testament. Like if you weren't still eating on that stuff, then I would, like, when somebody asked me what the shelf life was, I would say, probably a year in the fridge, whatever. But you've been sitting in your basement on a shelf for all these years, and it's still good. It gets hotter with age. I know that.
Yes, and I can't keep up with it's going to be around for like decades. You know what I mean? Like I went too deep, too fast, too furious. I've always done that.
He bought a whole you buy 2 cases.
I bought, yeah, and some didn't make it because it was so many cases. It was just like so many, it was just like a plethora.
The UPS driver couldn't even lift the box.
Dude, he had an erection just from the smell. So yeah, but all right, we digress. Last game on the slate before we run the Sims, and I heard there's something special coming up for that. And some more music, of course. And it is Justin Herbert, Sir Justin, who I did say to fade last week and not to play. You're welcome, everybody. And Russell Wilson, Sir Russell. Ooh, he's juicy. But he's also 10% rostered here, which, I mean, that's fine. It doesn't matter. 5,800.
That's my quarterback.
That's your guy. That's your guy. Talk about Russ Bus. What do you see this week? Why are you playing him?
The Chargers are terrible on defense. They really wish they had a defensive-minded coach. Oh, wait, they do.
What?
Allegedly.
Wait a minute.
So,
that's you can't prove that.
So Arthur Smith is to Derrick Henry what Brandon Staley is to Aaron Donald. Where if Aaron Donald didn't exist, we would have never heard of Brandon Staley.
Right.
Am I wrong?
No, you're speaking the truth, unfortunately, for Brandon
Which
Staley.
Is crazy because this is a defense with Khalil Mack out there just doing God's work on defense, tearing quarterbacks limb to limb and limb from limb. And this defense is still awful. They can't cover anybody. This defense can't cover a dead body with a tarp right now. And Cortland Sutton, renaissance year for Cortland Sutton. He's having a fantastic season.
Yes,
Jerry Jeudy is 4,600 on this slate.
Oh, shit. 47, but it's close.
47 at 9%. I will eat that chalk all day, twice on Sunday. Yes, I'm eating it twice on Sunday tomorrow. This Russell Wilson, Jerry Jeudy stack, or even the Sutton stack at 13%, I don't care. This is a smash stack spot.
Agreed.
Because the Chargers cannot cover. And it's indoors. It's going to be pristine conditions. Lots of people are going to flock to the Eckler bounce back or the Joshua Kelly. Oh, he's going to get more work. Well, he still stinks. So don't play the Chargers unless you're going to do a Herbert Keenan Allen stack with all the chalk. Keenan's chalky for a reason. He's a great play. Don't worry about Keenan Allen. No, nobody's crying over Keenan Allen spilt milk because he's still awesome. Right. But the Chargers are so limited. They're not going to give you all the juice out of the lemon squeeze. It's just not going to happen. We've been waiting all season for it to happen. Kellen Moore is not that guy. Brandon Staley, not that guy. Justin Herbert is that dude. Keenan Allen's that dude. Austin Eckler used to be that dude, but he's not that dude anymore. The Broncos, believe it or not, are one of the best teams in the NFL.
We talked about their defense on the FF Millionaires. They're one of the better defenses, and they haven't had the offensive explosion needed to kind of pull off.
It's funny how if you go from one of the most overrated and overhyped and undeserving coaches to a Super Bowl winning coach, as arrogant as Sean Payton is, the dude can coach his ass off.
Yeah. Well, he's needed to because there's just been really close games, and they've been pulling it out recently. Where in the first part of the year they were still reeling. You could just see a team in growth mode. But dude, I love this. I got a Wilson, Keenan Allen, Cortland Sutton stack 25, 20.5. That's sexy. That's better sexy.
The Judy one. That Judy one though. Go down and do the Judy one.
Oh yeah. We'll do that one.
Big 10%. Booty Judy.
That's under 20K. That's nice. That is nice. Is there any other stack in this game that you might want to consider? Whether Gerald Everett comes into play? No. Okay. I'll direct you to the TV screen, good sir, to show you that the Broncos are the worst against tight end. So I'm just going to tell you that if you want, I'm just telling you,
you can play a tight end, but don't expect it to be Gerald Everett. It might be Donald Parham. It might even be NorCal resident Stone Smart.
So be smart with smart. Okay. All right. Bo, you confound me and astound me every week, which I love. That's why you're the guru that you are. But with that being said, we're about to segue in a second. 9-4. We'll get to that in a minute, but 9-4. So yeah, we'll rub it in.
Run those damn Sims.
We'll run the damn Sims. I did have to just rub that in a little bit. So I can't find the Sims. Hold on, give me a second. I gotta make it smaller. There we go. Then it popped back up. It was like, we don't want to show you. You do run the Sims? Run.
Feel like they're running at a credible rate.
That's hilarious. My sounder did not work. Okay. All right. Oh, Drake London's in a bunch of these. God damn it. All right, hold
Mingo
on.
Too.
Yeah, hold on. Let me go back. We gotta go back and
You're supposed to limit the exposure on these guys.
I didn't realize it was gonna go that heavy for them.
Of course, if they're at the top of the board. 10.
Well, I thought they would block the chalk, like, in general.
Oh, and Zach Moss 10. Zach Moss 10.
Oh, please. Zackety, missity, mickety Moss. 10% for you, please. Yeah. We can't block, can't call ourselves the chalk blockers and then not block the chalk. All right. He's still in the
That's okay. Let him be optimal, but we know we can pivot off.
Hold on.
Yeah. CEH 0.
Right, 0 completely.
That. That's why I like run the Sims. They got the circle with a line through it for guys you want to take out completely.
It's very helpful, which I do like. In an effort to make everyone see the screen, I've minimized that feature, but we'll get back to it. Okay. All right.
Woo!
Wow. Zach Moss still.
You can still pivot off Zach Moss. It's easy.
Okay. You can still. Yeah. Okay. But still, there's some Drake in here. I'm not sure I like.
Run the Sims thinks he's optimal. He's not. David Montgomery, Christian McCaffrey. I'll do that all day. Brees Hall. No. Garrett Wilson. No. The Jets are. Yeah. We already talked about this. But JSN right there. That Jake Browning. Pivot off Moss. McCaffrey. JSN. Pivot off Wilson. Oh, that actually no. Don't even look at that one.
Well, what about this lineup here? You've got Wilson, McCaffrey. Well, Bijan, maybe not.
Yeah. Dotton is going to get in a points per block league. Great.
Good. Okay. Yeah.
Ooh. There you go. Gardner Minshew, Josh Downs, Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey in the flex. There you go. That one right there. Gardner Minshew.
This one right here. Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
That's your shot. I like it. Yeah.
I'm still look at those trouble. 3 running back lineups. Sometimes get a little boring, but McCaffrey, Kamara, and Mixon, my RB 1, 2, and 3 this week. So
I agree.
If you're going to do if you're going to do a 3 running back lineup, that would be the one.
I'm gonna switch Garrett Wilson and Drake around and Kate on, of course. Sure. But that framework,
those 3 running backs with the Gardner Minshew, you could even throw Pittman in there if you can afford it. But the down stack is fine too. And of course, the Browns defense is good to have in there.
Yeah. It's looking good. Looking good, sir. All right. Before we do pivot to our head to head, I wanted to bring in the Millie Maker contest that I have already put the money in for. So we're good to go. This is a free roll from last week since I won. We used to do this when I was flush with cash after I won my 5K. I kind of a little crazy on the show, and we would do this regularly. So I want to build a Millie Maker.
He got his
lineup.
teacher bump, and now he's playing millies again.
75K, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Teacher bump money, right? Yeah. So in this scenario here, where are you leaning at QB? This is money where the mouth is. This is big money shot at our upside title.
Justin Fields.
I do like that. Are we stacking him here? Are we leaving him naked?
DJ,
How are we making him?
DJ Moore.
The DJ Moore. Only 6,500.
6,500. That's absurd. That's asinine. It's erroneous.
It is false. It's predicated upon anomalies and inaccuracies and buffoonery.
They did not take critical thinking class. They do not know what a fallacy is.
No. What do you think about the Bills at 2,500 as a pay down option in this week?
Put it in.
Would you do that?
I was already going to say that. I was already going to say that.
Okay. Well, let's try to do. Let's just see. Let's see what happens if we do
the 3 running back lineup.
Yeah.
No, not Eckler.
Oh no. Oh, sorry. It went
Mixon,
Kamara.
Yeah.
And then hold on, let me go to flex.
And Mixon.
He's down. He's down.
He's so cheap.
In
61.
history, of course. Okay, now let's go cheap tight end before we get to our wide receivers. Cheap tight end.
Brevin Jordan. Right? Or you want to go cheaper than Brevin?
Well, no. I mean, we're looking here. We can go. What about Granson?
No,
he's up.
Did he do anything last week?
3 targets, 72 yards. Yeah, he got you 10 points.
Oh yeah, he's
2,500. I mean that's the thing. He's fast.
Let's look at the other ones first before I make a decision.
I will just
here.
Right. I'll just say this: he's up against Cincy, and if you go up against the
worst, yeah,
they're like the worst, right? So I'm just like you're looking for those kind of like really cheap. I'm sorry,
yeah,
cheap pay downs. That's all. He's a starting tight end.
Tanner Hudson.
If you wanted to, we could also go
Mayer though. Mayer. Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
He's
coming
had
off the bye week rookie bump against a terrible defense.
Bye week rookie bump. So let's see. He's 2,700. Let's put Mayer in 29. If we might
39 each on the last 2 wide receivers.
Let me go back to Granderson or whatever and see Granson and see.
Yeah.
That gives us more. Let's see if we do this. No, we cannot do Zay.
No. You have to go cheaper. Rashad Bateman's 32. Do you have 32? Oh, yeah. No, Bateman.
Yeah. And I just clicked the next button accidentally.
Bateman.
Boom.
Shoddy B. And we got 200 left.
Yeah, I like it. Leave a little bit on the we can look at Granderson and go back to tight ends and see where we're at. Excuse me while I call. Hudson. We can do Hudson. Troutman.
I like Hudson more than what's his name? Granson.
Yeah. He's been getting targeted for sure. He sneaks in the end
zone. Jake Browning loves himself some tight ends.
This is the nastiest lineup I've seen.
This is the Millie. You have to be able to throw up on site.
Here's the only problem I have with this, and you tell me what you think.
Is it Hudson and
Mixon? Like let me just play with Mayer.
Or you can't afford Mayer. Mayer's 29. So do your guy.
Okay.
Do your guy Granson. Leave the 200 on the floor. Yeah,
I mean, I still like it though. I like it a lot. And we put it in. We let it go. We float it off. It happens. Yeah,
into the ether.
Yeah, into the ether. Okay, let me pull up. I think I've got our head-to-head clash of beards and bellies.
I need a win.
Yeah, you definitely need a win. Let's bring it over.
I went more conservative, so we're trying something different.
You did go more conservative, and I do like your lineup. You started with Russell Wilson. You went pay down. Like every single player here is of value, no matter who they are. So talk about your strategy to beat me, because I think you actually are going to beat me this week.
death by 1,000 cuts. I went volume, cash, like back to basics. Where
Back to who you
remember when I never lost cash games?
Right. You crushed me for
Remember,
years.
it wasn't that long ago when I just refused to lose at cash games because I went volume is everything. So Russell Wilson is going to torch the Chargers.
Yes, he is.
Mixon against the Colts. Monty in the rain against a bad Bears defense.
I like that.
Jamar Chase and Sun God. I spent up on guys who are underpriced.
Yeah.
In great matchups.
Yeah. Right.
And Elijah is a great match. He's chalky as hell, but in a cash game, I'm looking for volume. And Joe Flacco has eyes for Elijah.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts, 3,700, too cheap for his upside. Jerry Jeudy, too cheap for his upside. Browns defense going up against CJ Beathard in the rain.
Right. Right.
For me, it was just, I was like, straight up, I'm just going to go with the best matchups, the best prices, points per dollar, and volume.
I've got you at about 150 to 155 points. So
I'm going to need more.
Yeah, it's solid though. It's. I mean, as a base though, you could shoot. You have got Chase who can shoot, Monty who can shoot, Mixon who can shoot. So and St. Brown.
Sun God.
Yeah, so you've got 4 shooters, and then Judy too. He could shoot a lot. You can take a catch and go 100. You know, so I'm a little scared actually this week. I'm not even bullshitting you. My lineup, it's upside, but it's
Minshew mania.
Yeah, we only have.
Well, I had Pittman in my lineup for a long time, but he didn't make the final cut.
Yeah,
but we both have Chase. I love the Keaton Mitchell play.
Thank you,
McCaffrey being there.
Yeah,
McCaffrey and Pittman that's goals right there. I'm not afraid of Myers at all. I'm not afraid of Brevin Jordan. But Pittman and Chase and McCaffrey. Chase doesn't hurt me because I have him too. So those two guys, if they go off, I'm going to kick myself because they're two of my favorite plays too. But
yeah.
The rest of your lineup doesn't scare me that much because I did match your Chase. That was a nice thing for me to see.
I'm a little disappointed in that. Not gonna lie, 7,600 for Chase is a bargain. So whether cash or GPP, I'm going Chase.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I got to tell people this is one of my favorite things to do every single week. And you've been blocking chalk with myself and Bo _McBigTime. Bo McBrayer, for those who do not know. Go follow him on Twitter. Bo, like I said, _McBigTime. You can also follow his Hot Box Batch Big Time Flavor Co.
Get your orders in. I'll still be able to get it by Christmas if I get them by this week.
Get all this in your Smoke Shack barbecue rub, your It's Taco Sizzin, Shelby Street Heat Nashville Hot Blend. That's one of my favorites, actually. The Amigo All-Purpose Blend is something that you can put on anything. My wife likes that a lot. And the bundle gets you 45. I think it's a real good deal. Please, go get yourself some Hot Box. It's the best. This should be on Hot Ones. If this is never on Hot Ones, shame on you. Shame on you, Sean Evans. Shame. Because it's the best hot sauce in the world. And I ate it today, so I know. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Also, go follow us.
Chalk Block.
Go follow Chalk Block. I think we've got more followers since last time. We'll have to go back and see. Hold on. Mr. Scotty's got to go back to his profile and do a little there. Chalk Blocked. We're getting there. We got a follower. Thank you for our one follower. We're moving. Yeah, we're getting up there. But do follow us. Thank you. If you win tomorrow, tell us that you've won. Shout us out. Give us a little heads up. I won the tournament. And then also let me put the tournament in. I should do that too. Hold on. Let's go to DraftKings. This is the Chalk Block tournament. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know
you
how
definitely
you
should join this tournament.
Yeah, please do. Invite. How do you email it to people? Email your contacts.
No.
What?
No, what are you doing, man?
How do I just copy it? All right.
You go to share. Go back to the contest.
Yeah. Here's the contest, right? Nimble W Numbers contest.
Click on it.
This is it right here. How do I share it?
Yeah, do it from your phone. That's the easiest way.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it from the phone, but I can't do it now. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody. Please, if you want to play in the contest, just reach out to me on Twitter, tag me, and I'll show you the link. So, all right, we'll see you guys next week for Bo and Scott. Peace, and we'll see if Bill Belichick gets fired this week.